Just the other day, I learned, hey, I can use ChatGPT as a consultant when I've got a question I need to solve and say, look, here's my question. Ask me as many questions as you want until you have enough information to give me an intelligent response.
A man of faith here, Jonathan, who is a real wizard. I've been following Jonathan for a while now, and he's got an awesome ChatGPT group, which is what we're going to connect on today. He's also an amazing seven-figure agency owner himself. We were kind of talking a little bit off air about all the cool stuff they're up to. But today I wanted to bring him on to focus on some of the cool stuff you guys can do with AI. I think we've all seen the party trick of like, hey, ChatGPT, write me an article. But I want to show you guys some of the cool stuff today that Jonathan's up to. I don't necessarily have an agenda for this talk other than we were just talking about some cool stuff. So firstly, Jonathan, appreciate you, my man. I think a lot of our people actually know you already, but for those who don't, say hello.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you reaching out, Frankie. Loving to have a conversation about it. As we were talking pre-call, this whole AI thing is obviously growing like crazy. It's wildfire. Nobody knows everything. Yeah. My goal is really simple. I want to figure out how to use it to make my agency more efficient, how to deliver better stuff to my clients, and ultimately how to use it to make some money. And in the process, I figure there's no better way to do it than to collaborate with people like yourself and others and learn from each other. I've learned so much already from other people that are playing around going, did you know you could do this? Or, hey, have you ever thought about that? And, you know, learning things, for example, just the other day, I learned, hey, I can use ChatGPT as a consultant when I've got a question I need to solve and say, look, here's my question. Ask me as many questions as you want until you have enough information to give me an intelligent response. And it will do that. And it's just like talking to your therapist or your consultant or your attorney or whomever. Now, obviously, you got to check the content that's coming out, but there's so much that we haven't even scratched the surface on. To me, I know there's lots of people up in the air. Oh, my goodness, AI is going to destroy jobs and it's going to do this. Yeah, it may, but it's also going to create a tremendous number of opportunities. And that's what I'm interested in is what are those opportunities and how can we use it for good, so to speak?
Yeah. Amen to that. I think for a lot of people who are consumers as a whole, and I'm not saying they're like bad people, but I just mean purely economically are not contributing a lot to the world. It probably does mean like loss of jobs and things like that. But for people like us who are using it to produce value in the world and to help clients and to serve things, like I actually think it's an amazing tool. I don't know if you'd be open to maybe we could start on the screen sharing and have a little ChatGPT therapy session, as you mentioned, where we can kind of use it as a consultant. I'd love to just show like maybe like 3-4 cool things that we can potentially do with it that like a lot of folks aren't thinking about, especially because you're an agency owner yourself. Like you can think about like specifically how to use it in our world.
No, I'd be happy to. Let me go ahead and get a window set up here and share it. I think one of the big things, you know, especially in the agency world, from my perspective, is it's about a lot more than just creating content. Yeah, content, it does a great job. It writes some mean blog posts and it does things like that, but it does so much more in my mind than just create content. Yeah. So
can I just say, while you're loading this up, by the way, I can confirm what you say as you bring community together about it. You learn things in ways you couldn't imagine. Like if I can have one person come to me and say, hey, I'm really good at generating leads, but I don't know how to close any of my own sales conversations. And then like literally 10 minutes later, somebody will say, I know how to close sales conversations once you give them to me, but I don't know how to generate leads. And like, literally, if you just kind of like cross-pollinate their knowledge, like they both have the solution to the other one's problem and you look like a genius, but it's literally just back-to-back conversations like coming together. And I think you doing that with ChatGPT and AI in general, like it just brings stuff to you in ways you couldn't have possibly imagined.
Oh, no, and I totally agree. It's a learning process. It's an iterative process. You know, I love ChatGPT. I've been using it a lot. This week I've been in the Mid-Journey. I'm on a Mid-Journey kick because it's like, oh, this is all new and exciting, and I love photography. So I don't know if I've generated anything worthwhile, but I've been having a lot of fun. And as I always remind my wife, me playing, as I like to say it, is what makes us money in the long term, because I come up with ideas and I learn things and you stumble across things, you meet people and you find things out. So Yeah, where do you
Yeah.
want to start with ChatGPT? What do we want to
Well,
start with?
I love this idea of like a therapy question of like where you mentioned as a consultant. Maybe we could use an example like for you of something you've already done and like kind of just rehash it as an example here of like ask me questions to help me get to the bottom of blank. And before you do that, I want to just give a shameless plug, by the way, because this is something I've been working at really hard in the background, but we're actually about to launch the first AI platform where you're able to buy and sell AI art. It is not quite at launch, but we are literally less than weeks away. And so you'll actually be able to sell your Mid-Journey art as crypto if you, or for crypto if you'd like to.
Sweet. Oh, make sure I get an invite to that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. All right. Well, let's see. So I got to admit, I use ChatGPT so much during the day. It's on my phone. It's a shortcut. It helps me answer all kinds of questions. Yeah, let me just be totally vulnerable and give you one that happened today. So, not really consultant, but a little bit. We did some keyword research for a client of ours, a brand new client. The keyword research was spot on. Unfortunately, it was for the wrong audience, and it wasn't the audience they wanted to reach out to. So, client sends an email. Hang on, what you guys missed it? This is wrong. It's the wrong audience, and the client was right. We made an error. It had not gotten transferred right, and so I had to then go, okay, not really damage control. We've still got a good relationship, but I had to explain to the client what happened. And one of the things I did is I went into ChatGPT and I said, all right, so, here's what we did. Ask me what questions you need so you can help me craft an honest response that's not throwing my team under the bus. And it did an amazing job of crafting a wonderful email that basically said, oh, it's my fault. Which I'm perfectly fine with. Here's what happened. Here's how we're going to fix it. And oh, by the way, here's the resolved solution. And the client's like, oh my goodness, you guys fixed that in no time. That's amazing.
Guys, if you like this video, you're also going to want to grab some free bonuses, which you can get at our website, Beyond Agency Profits. To make it easy for you, I've put the links to it in the description of this video, as well as pinned in the top comment. And we've got a couple of awesome things. This is what you'll get after you sign up. You get some of our best training, how we're closing clients over Loom videos, how we sometimes sign clients that is not a misprint for under $5 US, how to demonstrate your value in like amazing ways, trainings, how to have your clients write the best copy of your life, how we're closing without phone calls, campaigns that we've generated for clients that have done over $100,000, as well as scripts you can use to get conversations going with clients in under 10 minutes. All you got to simply do is go there, enter your name and email address, and then this is what you'll see on the other side. So if that's interesting to you, make sure to click the links below, and I will see you on the other side.